yeah, they get so. Ooh, well, we're live, y'all. We are live.
We are live. Looks like Pat Fryermuth is back for the Steelers this week. Will that help enhance their passing game, their offense?
Who knows? I don't know if I like the word enhanced this early in the morning, though. But anyway, views from the 22 live on the scene. We got week 11. It was just week 1, but I ain't gonna tell nobody else.
Hmm.
Week 11, Sunday morning preview. Germs So True here. Vic Jr. Vic, man, I don't know, man. What's going on? How's the week?
Not much, man. Be real busy, you know. Um, just grinding out this work, real estate here. You know, it's been fun, but it involves a lot of paperwork, man. Um, but yeah, looking forward to week 11, man. It's already we're already towards the end of the season. This one starts. This stuff is really gonna start picking up. See the stretch run. The stretch run should be real fun, man. And the fantasy football stretch run here.
So the shots heard around the world from this week. We got Deshaun Watson out in Cleveland.
Hmm.
Heartbroken.
Definitely.
Then after that, Joe Burrow goes down the week after.
Same. Well, yeah, next week, yeah. In football terms,
I don't have any thoughts. Do you have any thoughts?
I don't. It was interesting what was going on because there was some things going around Twitter that Joe Burrow was. There was pictures of Joe Burrow's wrist had some sort of device on it, some sort of wrap on it as he was coming off the plane. And then now the Bengals are being investigated for possibility of not putting him on the injured list prior to the game. They do that for money reasons, for fantasy football reasons. Um, Nothing more, nothing less. But it's a rule now that the NFL has, and it's be interesting to see exactly what comes out of this investigation. Because now we got a player that your big money quarterback with a torn ligament on his wrist. So was it going to happen this week? Was it going to happen next week, 2 weeks from now? Who knows? Who knows what kind of injury it is? If he just needed a little bit of rest, guess we'll find out sooner or later, man. But yeah, two quarterbacks go down, and for the NFL, that's not a good thing considering the position.
Not at all. Not at all. So, how does this change the picture in the AFC, in your opinion?
Yeah, AFC North, both teams in the same division too. Um, it's obviously going to help out the Ravens a little bit more. Um, we'll see exactly where the Bengals and the Browns go in terms of wins. You still gotta go play the games, but who are the bottom teams? Spots 6 and 7 that now can kind of jump in the playoff race, as those teams might start to fall off. You say, or I don't know. The Cleveland defense is strong enough to kind of keep this team afloat. Um, the Bengals is just the Bengals now are what, 5-5 now, 5-6,
5 and
uh,
5.
5-5. So that's tough, man. That's tough because you just want to see Joe Burrow and those guys in the playoffs. But just makes the path a little bit easier for those up top and whoever is going to sneak in.
Well, Miami, you're on the clock because now this becomes Miami. I don't know if Miami's beating a healthy Cleveland team. I'm not sure. I think we get a good game if we get a Miami and a Cincinnati game. I don't know, man. This is tough. And this also opens the door for Buffalo, who, yeah, we're getting ready to have this conversation, Vic. So
Hey,
we're around town and around everywhere else. I hear a lot of ridicule and critique of a certain quarterback by the name of Josh Allen.
mm,
And what I hear that people are calling him trash. I hear people are saying that he's the reason why the offensive coordinator got fired. I hear all of these different things, these great hot takes that we like to have out here in our sports world. And for those hot takes, I just want y'all to know it's hot garbage.
mm,
The problem in these situations is, again, we give more game here at the scene than y'all ever really understand sometimes. So I want to shout out to everybody who's a part of the group, part of the family, a part of everything from Views, 94, wherever. We give y'all so much game here that is overlooked or not paid attention to
mhm.
that it's almost like when these hot takes come out, I like to hear what some people's opinions are about these hot takes. Because the hot takes never make sense to me. How is Josh Allen, who the last 2 years has been notorious for being for accounting for over 30+% of a team's offense, of a team's total yardage, of a team's total efficiency, whatever you want to call it, you might as well call Josh Allen LeBron James of football.
Yeah.
He accounts for a big percentage of their rush yards, the entire percentage of their passing yards. What I want to know is he has a hand in about 70% of their touchdowns. How is he the reason why the offensive coordinator got fired, but the offensive coordinator doesn't have any responsibility of why the offensive coordinator got fired? Play calling is a part of offensive coordinator's job, but also if you see regression in your quarterback,
Mhm.
another job of an offensive coordinator is to find ways and find plays that help your quarterback get back into their rhythm. Or you figure out where your quarterback is and meet them there so we can get them back on track. What had Ken Dorsey done to do those things for Josh Allen?
You asking me the question? You want me to take it
I'm
from there?
asking you the question. I'm asking you the question, but this
Listen,
is really a rhetorical question.
yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Can you hear me? You hear me good there?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can see you. I can hear you.
Okay. Um, Listen, man, my case with this situation is uh 2020 Josh Allen and 2021 Josh Allen was an elite level quarterback. You know what I mean? Like in 2020, I thought he was the MVP. In 2021, he was top 3 in the voting. He had outstanding seasons. Okay, so we live in a society where what can you do for me now type of thing. And yes, has there been some regression? Absolutely. Has he been probably game planned a little bit better for? Absolutely. But like you said, that offense basically goes all the way around him. And we've been saying it for how long, Jerm? They need to build a better offensive line, and they need to get some real running backs in there to help them out. Okay, so as they started to kind of scale back the rushing attempts for him, you still didn't improve in those other areas to kind of make up for those rush attempts that he had or those scrambles that he had. So now you're a rush running team, and your quarterback is trying to stay in the pocket and pass more. Now, what's crazy about this season for Josh Allen is that he's passing at a 70% clip. If I'm reading the statistics right here, Jerm, he's passing at a 70%, which is the highest of his career right now.
Okay.
So he has 19 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. So the turnovers are definitely there. Is there a little bit of regression? Is he reading the defenses like we expected him to by this time in his career? Probably not. Probably he's still he's probably never gonna be elite at the reading the defenses pre and post snap. Maybe he's not gonna be at that level. And that meme that came out about the whole, they try to make it the whole color thing, and it's all fun and games, whatever the case may be to different people's feelings. They said that Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, whenever they got turnovers, that something about reading the defense. I don't know. Josh Allen has never been that great at reading the defense. He hasn't. You know what I mean? So like, is he at the Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott level of that? That's debatable. You know what I'm saying? But Josh Allen, to me, has never been considered as somebody that can read a defense pre and post snap. So like, we need to kind of like, that whole thing about trying to make it a color thing. Let's leave that shit alone, man. Like, he's regressing this year to a certain extent because the kid is still passing at a 70% clip. And he's most of your offense. So he's accountable for all of your offense, basically. I digress.
But also, let's have this conversation. And there's comedians that go on sports shows that do all this crazy stuff, and they go on there and they call this player trash, and I just be looking like, but how can somebody how can a player complete 70% of his passes that made bad mistakes? Of course, I mean, what quarterback has ever been perfect?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, what quarterback is perfect in Week 11 that's won a Super Bowl? This is a week-to-week league. This is a year-to-year league. The more the offense evolves, the harder the player or the better the player grows in the said offense. But you don't see people growing in offenses that don't have much of a ceiling to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
What else can they do in Buffalo that they haven't already done offensively? I mean, they can, they got to make the pizza, then they got to start the fire, then they got to make the pizza, then they got to start the fire. Can we figure out something else to say though, besides Josh Allen is responsible for the quarterback's coach or the offensive coordinator being fired.
And Dorsey.
Besides us trying to always make the narrative about a player not being as good as they once were, and start asking why aren't the players as good as they were last year?
And that's another thing. Like, and it's been a couple years now. The quarterback play overall has been regressing overall. But here's some, because you and Mo know I like the advanced statistics when it comes to quarterbacks, right? So the year that he was second in MVP voting was his highest air yards per attempt at 8.5. The year that he was third in MVP voting, he was 7.7 air yards per attempt. This year is his third highest at 7.1 air yards per attempt, and he's completing 70% of his passes. So yes, the turnovers are there.
This would be better of a year because of the completion percentage and because it's right around where you want him to be anyway.
And air yards, yeah. So he is turning over the ball more, but again, because he's the biggest part of your offense. He's being asked to pass a lot because they can't run. And then when he was running a lot, they're trying to scale back at that, but they haven't become a better running team without him. James Cook and these guys are not cutting it. What are they ranked in rushing yards and all of that? What are they ranked? I bet you they're in the bottom half if I had to look it up right now.
Well, let's see. Good morning.
Good morning. You know what? So Mo, before you even said, I'm probably gonna say it probably about 23rd and down. 23rd and down.
They are 25 rushes a game, which is good for 20th in the league. And yards per rush is good for 5th in the league.
Oh. So overall rush yards?
Rushing yards per game, 13th in the league. Rushing yards per carry, 5th in the league. Rushes per game, 20th in the league. So could probably use a little more usage out of their run game. I think their running backs are very good. I think their running backs are fine with James Cook and Latavius Murray. But let's just I'm gonna keep the conversations between you two, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate. And I partly believe this. What's the difference between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson in terms of the completion percentage, in terms of the offense, and in terms of the air yards per attempt?
Oh, you want me to
You want me to go first? You want to know what the difference is? The difference is there's two major differences. The number one difference is one guy is converting and coming over to an offense where they're asking him to pass more, coming from the Greg Roman, Colin Kaepernick style of an offense. And then the second thing that I think is the most important thing is Lamar has never been that guy who they thought was going to be a guy that was going to kill you with passing yards to begin with. So him being more explosive in the passing game makes up for his lack of attempts or for his lack of volume that he's going to get in the passing game, because they are always going to be in Baltimore a bar fight team. That's who they are. The personnel is built that way.
I agree, but go ahead, Vic.
Oh no, I'm just information. Go ahead.
Okay, because in my humble opinion, I don't think there's any dispute that Lamar has been a better quarterback than Josh Allen this year. I mean, he's. I think the issue with Josh is a little bit of that Tony Romo effect, where yes, he's very good, but he has some unfortunate timing with certain things. I also think historically he's been a little reckless with the football. And on top of that, there are times where he misses throws that he should easily make. Would be it guys that are wide open, be it him being a little late, whatever the case may be. Like, I'm not saying the problem in Buffalo is Josh Allen by any means. I think the problem in Buffalo is Sean McDermott. I said it, I think 2 years ago. He's like the Mike Zimmer of coaching. You know, like, he's going to be a good coach. They're going to have a winning culture. They're going to win some football games, but there's going to be a certain aspect missing from this football team. Number one, their ability to finish. Number two, their ability to win, grind out games when it matters. And number three and foremost, I think they are constantly putting themselves in situations where they have to chase, whether it's chase the yards and chase the down or chase the points. And I think that comes down to coaching. What I do agree with is the problem in Buffalo is not Josh Allen. Does he have plenty of criticism to come his way? Absolutely. Do I think leading the league in interceptions is as big of an issue as people are making it to be? No, I do not. Because some of them are him taking chances. Some of them are unfortunate timing. I mean, unfortunate events, whether it's batted down or a receiver dropped it or whatever the case may be, interceptions happen. But I think in the big picture of things, I think the three biggest problems to me in Buffalo is recklessness by the quarterback, improper offensive game planning, and improper coaching situations. So be it situational football. I don't, however, think, and this is not to you guys, this is for the entire sports society. I don't think you can criticize Josh Allen and praise Lamar Jackson or vice versa and not contradict yourself. Because I think the only difference is, to me, Lamar is in a much better situation coaching wise. And that's where credit is due. Obviously, Lamar has progressed more than Josh Allen, but that's because of how much he needed to progress. In terms of, has Josh Allen regressed? I don't think he's regressed. I think he's had a lack of progress. Therefore, to Vic's point, coaches are better prepared to play the Bills, to play Josh Allen, because there's a certain next level that hasn't been ascertained yet by him and subsequently his coaching staff.
So real quick, you said how many rushing attempts were they again? I got cut off there for a little bit.
They're 25th or 20th in the 20th in the 25th in attempts or 20th in attempts.
So the running backs are producing, they're just not calling enough running plays.
They're 20th in attempts. They're not running it enough.
Right.
They're not running it enough.
And that just seems to be such a big thing for whenever your team is considered to have an elite quarterback. Mm-hmm. It just seems like these coaches want to pass the ball more instead of helping them. You know, so like I understand the comparisons with Lamar, but if we looked at a career, like Josh has 900 and, if my math is correct, 960 more passing attempts over his career, and they got drafted in the same year. You know what I mean? So that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's 3 seasons worth.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
So we could go all day about this subject. I don't know if we got time for it, but you know, again, I just think that, again, even though if you're considered to have an elite quarterback, and again, everybody has their feelings in terms of Josh for that, you still got to help them run the ball more, man. You just this NFL where it's going to more passing. It's just, to me, it's just not enough balance to help these quarterbacks. Where like I said, overall, the position is regressing, especially with some of the elites that we had over the last couple decades retiring away. You know, going away basically.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a interesting subject to discuss, but I think it would be a lazy take to just sit here and say Josh Allen is a problem in Buffalo, and I have been highly critical of Josh Allen, mm-hmm. and I think some of it is deserved, but at the same time, to sit there and call him scrub, or to call him trash, or to call him a below par quarterback, whatever, not the case. You know,
I mean, just looking at the comparisons real quick, Mo. Like, so Josh Allen career wise, 63.4%, Lamar 64%. So that's 1%. But Josh has had 900 plus more attempts. He has 71 picks, of course, 43 to Lamar, but it's like, bro, he's being asked to do a lot for that offense, way too much, and just the support. It almost reminds me of what Bill is doing did with Brady the last couple years, and then with Mac Jones now. It's like, bro, this is supposed to be a running scheme that you have in the EMP offense. Why are you not running the ball more? Why are you not supporting the quarterbacks with more rush, better runners, and then on top of that, better weapons outside? You know what I mean? So he's got like Josh Allen, he's got Stephon Diggs. You know, are they really helping him with more weapons outside? I like Gabe Davis. I like Dalton Kincaid. You know, but is he getting the support as it pertains to how much you want him to pass? Is the question.
Well, let me ask this now. Okay, they're not running the ball enough, right? Well, that's been established. Here's another angle of this. What is Josh Allen's efficiency in the short passing game? Now, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I can almost guarantee you that there's a subpar standard. There's a subpar rating there.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of his short passing game. Yep. So the difference between Brady and Allen is that Brady probably had the best short passing game
ever.
He had the best passing game in NFL history, period. You know what I mean? Like, But if you want to nitpick it, when you look at Montana, Breeze, Montana, Breeze, Brady, and Peyton Manning, I think you look at those guys and their short passing game is absolutely elite. They are the standard of what short passing in the NFL should be. And the short passing is so efficient, so highly productive from those 4 quarterbacks that it is an extension to their run game. And that's another problem that's not being established in Buffalo. And I think that's 50-50. I think part of it is coaching. I think part of it is Josh Allen's talent, where he can throw it down the field. He can make every intermediate throw in the book. He can make every deep throw in the book. But how is his short passing game in terms of touch, in terms of timing, and in terms of ball placement? I think he falls short of that.
Absolutely.
And I think that's another problem that needs to be addressed.
I can't disagree with you there. Yeah, I mean, those are like I said. Like I said, it's. We would have to dive deeper into it. It'll be a whole different conversation. A much longer conversation. But yeah, I mean, that's why I like PFF for the data that they have. The collection of the data is, they have the short, intermediate, long, and then they break it down by 3 on each. So left side of the field, right side of the field, middle.
Right.
All of that stuff. Like he's always been on the top, bottom half of the league in those categories. So, yeah, I mean, we could continue this another time.
No, I mean we don't really have too much to discuss. The games are going to go by pretty quick with the topic of the games. I think this is a hot topic, especially heading into the second half of the year. That it's a hot topic to discuss the contenders and their quarterback situations. You know what I mean?
So what's your take? Because Josh brought. I don't know if you want to read Josh's comment in the beginning, but what is your take on that Joe Burrow situation, and then Deshaun Watson after that?
Okay, so with Joe Burrow, what aspect of it? Which part of my take? Like the overall situation, just freestyle?
Well, I guess whichever. So of course on football and all, on the field and off the field.
Yeah.
Takes.
So I've obviously, kept track of the headlines and the news stories and what the feel of the NFL world is. Number one, I think from what I understood is that he didn't miss any time in practice due to whatever wrist issue he was dealing with leading up to the game, right? So if people want to get up in arms about it, I certainly understand it from the vantage point of fantasy and gambling, okay? But I also think some of y'all are some entitled mother, you know what? If you think that because of your personal gains, that this football team that is trying to accomplish a mission collectively, a lifelong mission, should give a damn about your sinful habits, okay? On a Sunday.
Hey, bro, $120,000 is a lot. But I got you.
That's fine.
This is America.
That's fine.
It's America, right?
That's fine by me, dog. However, and we'll see what the NFL investigation comes up with. I think it is somewhat of an isolated thing. Like it just happens to be a coincidental thing. It seems like he was dealing with something, and the hit from Clowney. There's nobody who could come tell me that the hit from Clowney wouldn't have had the same effect on his wrist had he been listed on the report or had he not had an issue, whatever. So while I certainly get it from the fans' perspective and from the league's perspective, because again, I say this every week, when corporate America talks about safety, it is simply to protect their dollar, nothing else, okay? They don't give a damn about your safety, promise you. So I certainly understand it from that side of it. However, as a football fanatic, as a pure lover of the game, I'm going to side with the Cincinnati Bengals. My man didn't miss a single snap in practice. I have no reason to list him. Another thing that's not talked about, Jalen Hurts has been being treated for a knee thing for weeks. He is not on the Eagles injury report, but nobody's talking about it because he hasn't been brought to the light.
Well, he hasn't gotten hurt yet.
Right. He's getting treatment for it, but he's not missing any sort of practice for it. So therefore, no reason to put him on the injury report. So I understand it. Here's the other side of it. If there was an issue, it speaks to Vic on down this fence. Oh, do we really need a Thursday night game?
Bro, oh my God, yo.
Like, seriously, do we really need a Thursday night game? Let me tell you something. When I was 21, 22, 23, it was fantastic having a Thursday night game, okay? Now at this age that I am, bro, I can't watch Thursday night games.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, do we really need Thursday night games?
Too many things going on.
So. Right. And I think if they get away with it, if they get rid of it, obviously the only reason they want to keep it is because they know they can't compete with the Friday night lineup or the Saturday all-day lineup. So that's why they're going to keep the Thursday night game. But I really don't think a Thursday night game is necessary per se. Maybe the first couple weeks of the season, cool. Sprinkle it here and there like they used to, fine. Where, you can give teams rest after or whatever. But to have it an every week thing, I don't think is necessary.
Right. Even Thanksgiving was fun. You know what I mean? The 2 or 3 games on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Even at that was cool.
That's understandable. Absolutely. That's understandable why that's a game, but I don't know. Nola returning to. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
All I want to say to wrap this up real quick is we got to stop this thing where we always prosecute based on based on somebody else telling us that we need to make a decision on something right now. You don't have to make a decision or a judgment on that player until the end of the season. That's why they have season reviews. So we give you a preview of what we think the game will be like, and then we give you the review later, and we just review the game. So what more can you ask for besides what a player do what you ask them to do? You do what they are literally the highest paid quarterback to do. So I just don't like to jump in the gun. At the end of the day, players going to be players, and the players win them, not the coaches. And I keep saying that because it's a player's world. You just, make a nut, like a squirrel, whatever.
He wants to play. He wanted to play. He wanted to be out there.
But I just want everybody to stop. We got to stop that. We got to stop this, like today.
Hey, I was surprised to see that the Steelers are 6-3 in that division. So you got the Browns and the Bengals with their quarterbacks out at the bottom of that division.
Yeah, so, and you got Mark Andrews out now. So it's you ask me honestly, it's for the Steelers to take, But back to the quick progression conversation. If Lamar has truly progressed to the level that that is seen to be a consensus by the majority, then it shouldn't affect him. It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. I don't want to hear at the end of the season, we didn't win the division because of Mark Andrews. We didn't make it to the conference championship game because of Mark Andrews. Okay? Because the whole narrative is the pedestal degree of Lamar Jackson. Okay? Quarterback a liar. Shout out to the 40-year-old virgin. Anyways. As far as Deshaun, I don't know, man. To be TBD with my Deshaun opinion. It's obviously like the year has it's not started off the way they wanted to. I'd have to go back to the contract situation and see if there's anything that can be done, because right now the Browns made a bad business decision, is what it looks like. We will see what happens moving forward, but I don't like the way that Deshaun Watson era has started in Cleveland, and I have no reason to believe I'm gonna like the way it ends. That's I'll leave it at that. We have to see what happens. We have to see how it plays out. We see how the recovery is. When he comes back, how good will he be? Where will that roster be? Where will that cap space be? all those things have to be taken into account. But just looking into my crystal ball, I don't think it's going to go the way it was expected to go in Cleveland with the Deshaun Watson era. That's my thoughts.
Fair enough.
I thank you.
I'll save it for another day. Let's get these games on.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. All right. Starting off the bat, you got the Chargers at the Packers going to Lombardi Stadium. Keenan Allen is playing. Zay Jones is playing. Shout out to Pat Freiermuth, who is also playing in this game. Wait a minute. They messed me up. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm reading the wrong thing. Those are some of the actives and inactives anyways. Keenan Allen is playing, but Gerald Everett and Jalen Guyton are not. For the Jaguars, all their big dogs are playing over under 43.5. What am I looking at, dude? Why am I all over the place? There we go. I'm good now. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. I'm good. I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay. Over under 43.5, -3 favorites for the Chargers. Listen, the Packers have not scored more than 21 points in 6 games. That is terrible. Like, there is a lot wrong with this offense. And their running backs, I understand Aaron Jones was injured, but their running backs just have not been producing the way they need to be producing. I don't know where the problem exactly lies, but I certainly think they have a lot to look into coming into this offseason. They got to get some youth in there. They got to get a leader present inside that locker room, and you have to seriously evaluate your quarterback situation and where you stand on Jordan Love. Because, okay, this is his first-year starter, but he's been sitting for a while. So you would expect the product to be a little better, and it hasn't been. As for the Chargers, I mean, what do you want to say about the Chargers? You know what I mean? Like, we know who they are. They're going to play well. They're going to play good for 4 quarters, or they're going to play well for the last 5 minutes. In this game, I don't think it's going to matter because I think they're going to win by multiple scores. So give me the Chargers. Vic?
Oh, and I mean, it's kind of similar with Jordan Love. Like, there was passes that this kid was completing last week over 30 yards. That was incredible. But then the last 5 minutes of the game, 2 interceptions. So it's one of those situations. Again, how are we getting these quarterbacks prepared for these football games, and especially to close football games? Do they need help with certain situations, certain areas? They've had a lot of injuries at the receiver position. But Jordan Love has shown some potential, but he needs to find ways to learn how to close games and win games. I'm going to pick the Chargers simply because it's just a better team and a better quarterback situation right now. But yeah, man, the Chargers defense, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers are able to finally pass those 21 points this week. So give me the over on that. What is it? 48, you said?
43.5.
43.5. Give me the over.
Really? Okay. I like it. Yeah. You could see a 29-17 type of game, 30-17 type of game. Absolutely. Germ?
So this game for me is about who's not gonna fail me. Is Jordan Love gonna fail me and be a Jake?
Mute, bro.
Is Justin Herbert going to do the same stuff that he normally does, which is throw for 300 yards, and the Chargers not be successful? With that being said, I really don't have any faith in either team, but give me the Chargers, I guess.
Next game, speaking of evaluating your quarterback room, don't wait till the offseason. Evaluate it after today. The Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to check the Titans' record real quick because I'm pretty sure they are still in like a decent position record-wise. They're 3-6. Maybe not, but hey, I'll say it again. If it was Ryan Tannehill, I think this would be a closer game. As for the Jaguars, I think last week was just a bump in the road. You know what I mean? They got their ass whooped by the 49ers. No shame in that. That's going to happen. I think they come back. I think they bounce back. You see the run game get going. You see the play action go well. You see the defense was very opportunistic, make the most of opportunities. and I think they win this game. Vic?
Yeah, I mean, the Jaguars should be able to win this game, bro. Like, they went up against one of the best teams in the NFL in San Francisco. San Francisco came to play. But the Titans just have been bad. I agree with you with the rookie quarterback situation. Even though Will Levis shows some potential, there's still a lot more work that needs to be done there. And so, the Jaguars should be able to win this game to stay in the race. Or I mean, they're in first place now, but they should be able to win this game to show that they're above, one of the top tier teams in the AFC.
No doubt. Yeah, they're 6-3. So, Germ.
Let's do the Jags today, and let's do the Jags today convincingly. It's a new sheriff time. Let's do it.
Yeah. Raiders at Dolphins. I understand the Raiders are 2-0 under Antonio Pierce. I understand the Dolphins are losing to good teams, and they certainly didn't have a good outing internationally. I do think it's a different Raiders team. I think they're going to compete. I think they're going to give them a hard time. I think Antonio Pierce is going to find ways to let Tua think about it a little bit. So I'm going to take the Raiders with the points because the points are 14. I don't think they're going to lose. I think they're going to lose, but not more than 14 points. Vic?
Wow. I mean, the Dolphins are averaging 16.6 points at home over, winning by 16 points over the opponent at home. So, I mean, again, like, are you going to be an elite team? Like, let's show some dominance today, like you did against the Denver Broncos and other teams at home. Give me Miami to win this game. I think they'll win it by 17 points.
Germ?
Dolphins. I'm nothing to say.
All right, Cowboys at Panthers. Speaking of needing to dominate, Dallas Cowboys did their job last week against the Giants. Got to do the job again this week. Panthers are a very young team. I will keep saying this. I think we have to strongly reevaluate how we feel as a football fan about Frank Reich. I think he said it himself. He is better as a backup. He is better when he is not the main man in charge. As the main man in charge, he's never been great, except for that one game 35 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. I understand the criticism of Bryce Young, but I don't like the situation Bryce Young is in. Before we make a proper evaluation of him, we need a little more. But give me the Cowboys to dominate, and Tony Pollard better score this week. Vic?
I mean, listen, again, the only thing we're looking for with the Cowboys is consistency. They blew out the Giants, like you said, last week. But they had a similar situation earlier in the year against Arizona where they were expected to blow that team out and they lost. You know what I mean? So I'm picking the Cowboys. But again, like let's show some dominance and see and tell, show people that you're consistently one of the better teams in this league.
Facts. Germ?
I mean, do I have to say it?
Yes. Oh, what's that one that called your name?
I don't want to say it. I don't want to do it.
Cardinals at Texans. They got their win last week with Kyler Murray being back. CJ Stroud, Rookie of the Year, possible MVP, absolutely phenomenal, beyond impressive. Just not enough good things I can say. The Cardinals were competitive without Kyler Murray. The Cardinals can win some games without Kyler Murray. Don't be shocked if they win this game because they have been more competitive than what's been led to believe. Okay, so I'm going to take the Cardinals with the points. I think it's going to be a close game, 5.5 points. The Cardinals are getting. I'm going to give it to them, and I'm going to say Cardinals with the points. Vic?
Jim Brown is the only rookie that's ever won the MVP in NFL history, and he's a running back.
Mm-hmm.
For a quarterback to do that would be astronomical, would be an historical situation. But this kid is in the conversation.
Tanya, you are right. I am sleep deprived. I'm very sleep deprived.
Give me CJ and the Texans today.
See, CJ and the Texans should win this game because on paper they're the better team. However, Kyler is the ultimate neutralizer here because if Kyler comes out and plays well, that could help them out a lot. They should have some opportunities as well against the defense on the back end. Give me the Texans, but I think we get a better game than people understand.
Jerry's alternate points is -10 for the Dolphins, -20 for the Cowboys, -3 for the Texans. Very interesting, Jerry. I like it. Next on the docket, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. Listen, man, if Deshaun Watson was there, obviously we'd have a lot more to talk about in this game. Without Deshaun Watson there, I'm taking the Steelers, and that 34.5 points, I'm taking the under. Believe it or not, I'm gonna take the under. I don't think the Browns are gonna score more than 10 points today. Vic?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Steelers. Again, I don't even think it is Dorian Thompson Robinson. They're gonna go with him over PJ. I mean, I don't know, bro. That's tough. This Pittsburgh defense is outstanding. They're getting a lot of pressure, a lot of sacks, and the offensive line for Cleveland has been injured. So I don't know. I see a game where I wouldn't be shocked if Cleveland scores 9 points only, Jerm. Sorry, bro. I think the Steelers win this game.
I think the Steelers as well. Bro, it's hard to pick a team that you know that their two best players on offense are gone.
Yeah.
The quarterback and the running back.
No doubt.
I mean, even if the defense plays lights out, Pittsburgh is still a shoe-in to score at least 10 to 15 points. And do we think that the Browns are going to score that with a rookie quarterback that barely scored 3 points against the Ravens defense about 6 to 8 weeks ago? Wrong answer. Give me Steelers.
No. I haven't checked this, but
Ronnie,
oh no, Fitzpatrick is not playing in this game again. Okay, that's fine. I still think they'll be fine. Jerry, if you're listening, Jerry, I know you are. Out of curiosity, are those your alternate spreads, or are you using a platform that has those spreads? Just curious. Big Shot says Steelers at Browns is third shift coal mine football. Damn. That's deep. Shout out to everybody in the comments, man. The comments is very nice today, and I appreciate y'all for it. Next on the docket, you got the New York Giants at the Commanders. I understand the Commanders lost to the Giants a few weeks ago, but that was with Tyrod Taylor, okay? They got what's his name? My cousin DeVito playing today, and I just don't think they got any chance in hell in winning a football game. Give me the Commanders. Sam Howell is playing decent football. The Commanders found themselves a few weeks ago against the Eagles. And even though there's no Antonio Gibson today, there's still plenty of playmakers on this football team. Ron Rivera, man, one thing Rivera is going to do is change the culture and play tough football. And that's what's going on in Washington. Give me the Commanders. Vic?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with the Commanders too, bro. They got a lot of good young offensive weapons, bro. And if Sam Howell is able to be that guy for them right now, even though they lost some pieces defensively, they should be able to definitely dominate this game.
Yeah.
Commanders.
Washington.
What'd you say, Jeremy?
Washington.
Okay. Bears at Lions. Justin Fields is back this week. That's good. Good for him. But what's he gonna do? The Lions, I think they're gonna continue playing hard football, continue beating the teams they should beat, continue being very competitive, and continue to keep in our back of our heads. Damn, are the Lions really gonna play in the NFC Championship game? They just might. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking the Lions too, bro. It's a good-looking football team. Been very fun to watch.
Jerm?
Lions.
Next, you got the Bucs at the 49ers. Tampa going to San Francisco is going to be a very tough environment for them. Again, when Baker plays well, the Bucs do well. When he doesn't, they don't. Same with the Brock Purdy situation. However, I just think you saw the 49ers defense last week. Now that they got Chase Young, I think they now just feel like they are going to just overpower teams, especially at the line of scrimmage. And we had certain frustrations with the Bucs offensive line last year. I think those frustrations are going to come to absolute magnified light against this team. I want to pick the Bucs with the points because the Bucs are getting 13.5 points. So, Jerry, I would love your input on this. I am trying to go Bucs with the points, but I don't know. Over-under is 41.5. Give me the 49ers. Vic?
Yeah, I mean, of course, the 49ers, you got to take them in this game. Again, I like what Baker's been able to do with this Bucks offense. A very, very underrated play, but yeah, the 49ers defense is too strong, especially with the Chase Young acquisition.
Yeah. Jeremiah? Do I even have to say it? No, you don't. Jets at Bills. Over under in this game, Vic, is 39.5. Oh my God. Jets getting 8.5 points. I don't know. You think the Bills are going to win by 9 points or more, Vic, in this one?
I mean, bro, it's football.
The Jets beat them in week 1.
Yeah, it's football. The Jets defense is still a young, outstanding defense. I mean, come on, Josh got to wake up today. Josh got to step up and do something. On paper, it should be a 13-point win. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm taking the Bills just cause that offense for the Jets is just Zach Wilson has been disappointing. But the Bills, come on, Bills, you got to win this game.
Yo, I think I'm thinking out loud here, but me, Jerry, and MJ gotta see if we could do a rapid fire money line thing every week and start posting it.
That would be fun.
I like your take there, Jerry. I think Evans and them boys are a good enough matchup to not get completely blown out. 49ers money line all day. Absolutely. I mean, it's minus 820 to take the 49ers to win this game. So in order to win any money, if you're going to bet in this game, you got to bet Tampa with the points. Unless you could try to find something with the over-unders. But this is a game that I would highly recommend staying away with the over-unders. Big Shot with the news. He thinks the Jets will cover and win against the Buffalo Bills. Germ, this Jets defense is absolutely balling. They had every chance in the book to win last week. Should have probably won. We got the news this morning and last night that Aaron Rodgers is looking to come back in December. I mean, they got to survive 2 more games. They know they can beat this team. I don't know what I mean. I guess who is more important is this game? Who's more important to win this? I can't ask the fucking question. You know what I'm trying to ask? Who's more important to her?
Oh, who's more important to her? Got you.
That's the words weren't wording, bro.
But for me in this game, I think this is the game where you need your defense to continue to play well, obviously, right? But what you need is establish the line of scrimmage. We got to find a way to be able to run the ball enough to be able to keep a defense at bay and keep our defense on the sideline somewhat, period. That's what the key is to the Jets offense in general. You're not going to win a Super Bowl championship if you don't have some formidable running game behind you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they need to be focused on, because the quarterback play can be better if it's based off of the running game. Play action gives you bigger windows to throw the ball, but it also does what? It shrinks the field, less reads, more about just making the right throws. I think that's what they need to focus on more than anything else. As far as who I'm going to pick, I think with Cleveland and Cincinnati losing their other weapons and things like that, which are just their quarterbacks, I do think this is a great opportunity for both the Jets and the Bills to try to sneak their way up into that big dance. So I'm actually going to pick.
Wow.
What are you saying wow for?
Yeah, he said the Jets getting in there too?
Yes.
I'm saying wow because of Big Shot's comment.
Oh, okay. No, but Jerm said the Jets will get in the playoffs too. That's
okay. Listen, I picked the Jets. I picked them to be in the Super Bowl.
Because you just love Rodgers that much, huh?
Well, not that he's like the senior quarterback. It's like, okay, I like you. Next, you got the Seahawks at the Rams, 426 game. Look, I think this game is going to be a little more. I think it's going to be a very competitive game. To me, I'm gonna sit back and watch this game, and I'm just gonna evaluate it because this is a who are you game for both of these football teams, and so today is gonna tell me a lot. Not necessarily about the win or lose aspect of it, but the execution. The execution needs to be there from both football teams, and both football teams have an opportunity because they match up so nicely to execute on all three sides of the football. So it's a who are you game in this one. This is a who are you special, and I want to know. I'm going to take the Rams, but again, this is a pick 'em all the way.
Wow. I'm going Seattle. I'm going Seattle, but I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. I thought you was gonna pick Seattle, considering how much you like them, but this year,
I like the Rams too, though. You know,
this is probably out of all these games right now, this is probably like the toughest one to pick. Division game because they're gonna just battle. They're gonna battle, but I'll pick Seattle.
Germ?
Seattle as well.
Okay. All right, next. Again, I'm very, very happy that this game is on Sunday Night Football. Okay, because you sort of have two of the most talked about teams in the last couple of weeks. And maybe Denver isn't being talked about enough. I'm not going to say too much. I'm not going to get back on that horse, so to say, because every time I say something good about Denver, they prove me wrong. And I'm just going to try to keep it even keel. Instead, I'm going to say, nice job. I'm going to take it to the Josh Dobbs thing, okay? I love everything about what this kid has represented in his football career. I really do. He's been a professional everywhere he's been. He's been a presence in the locker room everywhere he's been. And not only that, when he steps to the mic, he speaks as a leader. He speaks as a dude that you say, okay, you know what? If you lead in my football team, we're going to play. If you lead in my football team, I'm going to show up on Sundays. And a lot of times, that's all a football team needs. A lot of times, a football team already has an ability to play as a unit. They just need that leader. Now, I'm not saying the Vikings were void of a leader by any means. Not what I'm saying at all. This is strictly praising Josh Dobbs. That's the locker room. Let's talk about the football field, right? The X's and O's of it, the views of it. Dude, there is nothing else to say other than simplicity and execution. Shout out to the coaching staff because they are putting in plays that are universal to the game of football. High-low reads, progression from left to right, check down. They are putting in a bunch of simple plays that he has practiced with Pittsburgh, with Jacksonville, with Arizona, with his experience at Tennessee. He's been practicing these plays his entire career. He's been seeing these plays his entire career. They're just called different things now in Minnesota, and you got to give them credit. Another thing I really want to give them credit about, this coaching staff, is they are giving him the freedom to go out there and play. Yo, this is your team. This is the system that we play, but this is your team. You are the conductor of the offensive train, so you do what you deem fit. They're not doing anything special. He's just reading and executing and making plays. So shout out to the coaching staff and shout out to him because his intellectual quarterbacking is off the charts. And it's as far as his physical, again, when Pittsburgh drafted him, I like the pick. We got a group chat with some of my Pittsburgh friends. You know, we don't talk as much, but draft night, that group chat goes off. Okay? Steelers in December, that group chat goes off. Okay? And I remember saying in that group chat, I really like this pick for Pittsburgh. Because if you are a smart quarterback and you can execute, you will have a spot in this league. So shout out to Josh Dobbs. All that being said, I got to go with Denver. Because I'm just being serious. Like long-term big picture, Denver being competitive is better for the season than Minnesota being competitive. Just being honest. Like Minnesota in January, I'm not going to miss them. But if Denver is in January, it's going to be very, very interesting. That's the only reason.
Listen, I mean, you just had a whole speech there. Like if you
I know. I'm
were the
sorry.
quarterback, you were the quarterback of and pumping us up for this win today, getting us ready and prepared for today. To then just a complete dud performance. Also, nah.
I know,
Listen,
KG. I know, KG. I know. That's why I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Give me the Vikings. Good.
give you the Vikings. I'm gonna go with the Vikings just because of everything you said with Dobbs, man. I
Okay.
think I think
Yeah.
I think they have a chance to. I mean, they're playing. Is it at home? I think it's
No.
at. Oh, they're going to Denver.
It's at Mile High. Yes, sir.
Oh boy, damn! This was tougher than I thought. You know what? I'll stick with the Vikings. I'll stick with the Vikings
Yeah.
for whatever reason. Josh Dobbs. That's all. I'm a big fan.
Beautiful. I love it. Jeremy.
Well, let's pick Josh Dobbs and make it a Cleveland sweep for the week.
Good. Good, good, good. All right, 9 minutes to the 1 o'clock, 14 minutes to kickoff. Shout out to Tanya. So proud of Josh Dobbs. KG, every time you bet on us, we lose, Mo. You damn right. Jerry, give me the Vikings. Big game from TJ Hawkinson. That's a very big part as well of why the Vikings have been playing well, because that's his favorite target. And what I found out is over the last few years, apparently in the offseason, there is proximity somehow between TJ Hawkins and Josh Dobbs. For the last couple of years, Vic, they've been working out in the offseason together, like diligently.
Oh,
So something very interesting.
that's a good
NFC West has
connection.
opened up. Absolutely. Big shot. Zach Wilson plays like he did against KC. The Jets blow him out. Yeah. It's going to be a good one. Shout out to Jerry Trav in there. Carlton Scott in there. Cat 5, as always. Shout out to you, Cat 5. Okay, who else we got? April in there. If I missed anybody, I do apologize. But shout out to everybody in the comment section. Obviously, the First Lady and Jaquan. I'm excited for today. A lot of things will be not determined, but we'll have a much clearer picture of a couple things today. My games of the week, so to say, my locks of the week, Vic. We're going to wrap it up in 3 more minutes, but my final thoughts are my locks of the week. So my locks of the week are the Chargers, money line, Jaguars, money line, Texans, money line, Steelers, money line, and the Lions, money line. Obviously, the 49ers and the Cowboys and the Dolphins are too easy of a choice, but I got to make it interesting. So those are my 5. Closing thoughts, Vic.
Some fantasy players, probably anybody. Quentin Johnston for the Chargers against the Packers. You got the injuries at receiver there. Even Keenan Allen is kind of dealing with some injuries. So this kid, little by little, has been getting more targets over the course of the season. If you guys want to throw that name in there, probably consider him today if you are struggling at receiver. And I also have, there was one more.
That's some breaking news.
Nico Collins as well. Go ahead. Breaking news.
Jerry Jones just announced that Jimmy Johnson will be finally inducted into the Cowboys Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Long overdue. Shouldn't be breaking news whatsoever. But good for you, Jerry.
Putting his pride to the side, huh?
I guess after 95 years. Germ, closing thoughts and take us home, baby.
Hey man, I just want to see some good games today. I want everybody to be appreciative of the fact that we still have football. We only got about 8 to 12 weeks left. Let's enjoy them, and let's stop these hot takes, and stop letting these comedians and other people go on these sports channels and call people trash, and then you run with it because it's not funny. 22. Enjoy the games.
I think you got to stop it, Jeremy.